Hello everyone. Um, ge- First of all, we made it. Spring break. Hopefully, we all enjoy your spring break. I'm briefly going to describe the lesson that I observed. It was Mr. Salinas' U.S. History 8th grade. Um, at the beginning, Mr. Salinas comes up and he starts off at I guess you would say quadrant C, which was a simulation which he lived in the analyzing aspect of the quadrant, um, but it was in the knowledge in one discipline. He only talked about in the about it in the history aspect. He starts off his lesson by um, telling the kids to describe and analyze what's happening in one picture compared to the other picture, and then see the similarities and differences between four different pictures. And that was pretty much his warm up, and it took him for the first 15 minutes. At the end, he kind of summarizes it, and the overall aspect that he wanted the students to get was that um, it was about westward expansion. He was going over westward expansion. But then after that staying at that level or at quadrant C for a while, he totally moved back down to quadrant A, which is the acquisition and knowledge, because he started having the kids do Cornell notes on from PowerPoint, and all he was doing pretty much for the rest of the class period was talking about or giving the notes, having the students copy the notes, and then having a brief discussion over them. So it went back down to quadrant A. Um, the depth of knowledge that he started off with, again, the at the very beginning of the lesson, he had the students working in groups, and they were kind of debating and discussing with each other what exactly was going on in each of the four pictures dealing with westward expansion. So I say that was at the level 2 in the depth of knowledge, and then he moved back down to a level 1 when he went into his PowerPoint and uh, note taking session. It says, what feedback would you provide to the teacher to help him or her reflect on the level of rigor and relevance of the lesson? And what feedback would you give him or her to move towards quadrant D? At Being a former social studies teacher and trying to apply it to real world situations, one of the things that I have brought to this campus is going more into project based lessons that require students to be a little bit more open ended in their answer giving. So some of the feedback that I would say is, since or because it was the main portion of the lesson was giving notes, for me to move them up into the quadrant D area, I would say fine. You did give notes. That was okay. They do have to receive the information. But what? And then I guess this is where I would prompt them to go into that quadrant D. What would be the creating part aspect of it. I would say, okay, now that the students have the information, what exactly are you going to do with those notes? What are the students going to do? And this is where I would prompt them and say, what project or what product are you expecting these students to use those notes for? And then I would maybe probably sneak in, like, say, are they going to do a PowerPoint presentation? Are they going to do a brochure? Are they going to create a scene? Are they going to reenact something? Where I would get them to have the kids do a project based assignment. The It says number 2. It says, what reflective question would you ask the teacher to help him or her increase the required depth of knowledge of the activities? Again, it goes back to giving the students control of their own learning and giving them the opportunity to take what they already have or what they've been given and create something with it on their own. So I would say, again, telling them, okay, the students have the notes that they needed. What are you going to do with those notes? Tell me what you expect of the students at the end of this lesson. I would say, again, coaching them and prompting them for students to do a project-based outcome. I would say, what project are y'all about to do, or what's the end product that you're expecting students to use these notes for. And that's about it.